Baddies, Nutters, and welcome back to our second episode in the Entity Displeased series here on YouTube, where I review and analyze games that I have lost and try to figure out what maybe I could have done differently, how I could have played better to stop myself from losing in such bad fashion. I feel often people will blame, oh, I lost because I got gen rushed, or I lost because they were using this perk, that perk. It was a Swift, whatever you want here. Sometimes, friends, we lose just because we didn't play all that well.
Or you're just like Fidget and you suck.
No, I don't think I suck. I just didn't necessarily play this upcoming nurse game to the, how would I put this gently? The best of my abilities.
What if you don't have any abilities, Fidget?
Hey, we're here to be constructive, not mean.
Hey, I'm not being mean. I'm just being constructive.
I see what we did there, Sergeant. Well played.
Thank you, and you're welcome.
Anyway, let's look at the first perk that we have here. I think it is the first time this perk has ever been run on this channel, and that is, as you can see, it is already circled there for you, barbecue and chili. Barbecue and chili. After hooking a survivor, all other survivors' auras are revealed to you for 4 seconds when they are farther than 40 meters from the hook. Also, with each hook, you get a 25% stackable bonus for up to 100% to give you a 100% blood point bonus at the end of your trial. The second perk you can see here is Hex Devour Hope. Hex Devour Hope is a Hex perk that works on a 5-token system. After 2 tokens, you will gain a 10-second haste effect of 5%, that will last for 10 seconds upon hooking a survivor. After 3 tokens, aka 3 hooks of survivors, all survivors will have the exposed status effect, meaning that all survivors can be downed in 1 hit. And lastly, if you manage to get 5 tokens of Devour Hope, you will be granted the ability to kill all survivors, aka you can mori them by your own hand. Now, second to pair, or thirdly, I should say, to pair with Hex Devour Hope, Mouse, get over there. There you are. We will be pairing it with Hex Undying. Hex Undying is essentially kind of like a shield for your Hex totems, whereas when another Hex totem is cleansed, the totem's Hex transfers to the Undying totem, deactivating Hex Undying. Any tokens that transferred Hex are transferred as well. Essentially, what this means, there will be 2 lit totems in the trial. One is Undying and one is Devour Hope. No matter which one is cleansed, Undying will always be the first to go and Devour Hope will be left standing. Think of it like, instead of Devour Hope having 1 hit point, it has 2 hit points. And lastly, our fourth perk is Strider. Now, I'm going to assume that I was doing one of the tome challenges for the nurse. I believe she has, in the first tome, is to like hit survivors while using Strider, because this is not a perk I would use on nurse really all that often, or at all, if I'm being completely honest. So I'm going to assume I was doing a challenge with it. With that being said, Strider increases the grunts of pain from survivors by 50%, increases their breathing by 25%, making it easier to find those survivors. Now, for the actual game itself, remember in the first episode of Entity Displeased, I said, sometimes you just have to let your ego go and look back at some of the games that you have lost to try to better yourself. Well, let me tell you, this nurse game, without a doubt, the worst nurse game I have ever had. It to the point where I don't embarrass easily, like at all, really. I've always had a pretty good sense of humor about things. This game was pretty embarrassing. I even say at some point in this game, I was like, this is the worst nurse game I've ever had. Like, I was just aware. I was just fully aware in the moment, like, this is going rough. However, like I said, sometimes you have to let your ego go. And hey, if me looking back and showcasing this poor game of mine can maybe help you, and if your other games, or more specifically some of your nurse games, hey, That's what I'm here for, right? So without further ado, let's just get into what I am calling my worst nurse game ever. I just said I hadn't seen it, and then you give the ending away anyway. Like, you see what I mean? SgtFidget, don't worry about it. We were talking about spoilers and stuff here. So this first chase here, guys, I'm actually going to let you watch it, and then I'm going to go back and we'll go through it all. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to let you watch this for a little bit. Yeah, I wouldn't have made that. Oh, good. I didn't realize that was the jungle gym we had. Oh, that was a different one. Oh, I got stuck on the fucking rock. Sad. No! Okay, this client knows how to, what's up. Okay, we're gonna break off her. Okay, and that's where I want to pause right there. So lots to go through. Even though it wasn't that long of a chase, there are some very important things that come up here that will, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you want to look at it, will pop up reoccurringly throughout this trial. So where's a good starting point? Let's start right here. So right before we saw a survivor around this area right about here. So I think SgtFidget is assuming she's behind this rock. So that's where he's heading here first. Pretty sure he's right here. Yeah, I wouldn't have made that. Little long on the blink there, but he was just kind of guessing where she was. Now, here is a very crucial thing. One, SgtFidget didn't realize this was this jungle gym, the LWT wall here. I don't think he was fully paying attention because at the beginning of this, he was continuing on a conversation from the Twitch chat. So I don't think he was fully paying attention. But as you can see, and this is, like I said, the recurring problem throughout this. Watch this here. So we see her going around right here, right? But look where SgtFidget blinks to. For some reason, SgtFidget was just very off from the right beginning here. He blinked to where Claudette's last location was, opposed to where he thought she was going. More than likely, he should have known that since she had a direct line for this window vault right here, he should have known she was going to go for the fast vault and maybe should have blinked either here to catch her off or more likely on the opposite side of this wall here, because then when he hit her, he would have been on the same side as her and wouldn't have had to blink through this wall to catch up with her for a second hit and risk losing his line of sight. Oh, good. I didn't realize that was the jungle gym we had. Yeah, see? One. Pay attention, SgtFidget. One thing I should have mentioned when I was going over the perks, Hex Undying, whenever the survivors run by a totem, it has since changed now to where it's only the unlit totems, but it basically gives an aura reading. So that's why even though she is behind this tree, we can see her because there is a totem right around this rock and tree area. Oh, I got stuck on the fucking rock. As you can, as SgtFidget just said, he didn't hold the blink long enough to get past the rock that is right here. So we kind of got stuck on the corner of it. So when he goes to swing, he doesn't get all that much range on it, sadly. Right there. So that explosion right there, that was our Hex Undying totem disappearing. If we did not have Hex Undying, this perk right here. Sorry, same as last time. I'm getting used to having all these programs open on different monitors, so I lose track of the mouse often. My apologies. But because we had this Hex Undying, we still have Devour Hope. Whereas if we did not, Devour Hope would have been gone in the first 54 seconds of this match. Sometimes you can have a Hex Totem and you will have it the entire game. I literally played a game of Survivor 2 days ago. The poor killer, I spawned, looked to my right, and what was there? Their Ruin Totem. So they lost their Hex Ruin, their Gen defense, within the first, by the time I cleansed it, we'll say 15 seconds of the match, which is why so many, when you're running these kind of Hex Totems, it is nice to bring the Hex Undying just to give yourself a little bit of backup, because there's nothing worse than losing your perks 54 seconds into a match. Oh! Okay, this client knows that, what's up. Okay, we're gonna break off her. We're gonna break off her. Pass Fidget. That is the smartest thing you have said since this trial began. Now, when we look over here to where Claudette was heading, yeah, she could have kept going towards the shack, which could have been a little, well, I'll say potentially difficult. Based on how the blinks have been going so far in this game, I'm going to say it would have been difficult, but I digress. Committing to a chase like this, I was far away from gens. I wasn't putting pressure on the other survivors. Fidget breaking off here was the smart thing to do, even though she was a little bit more exposed over here. I kind of have a general rule of thumb. I don't always stick to it. I am human. But in my opinion, as soon as you are developing some sort of like personal attachment, or like your emotions are starting to take over while you're in a chase, you should break off, because that's going to end up clouding your judgment. And I could have spent the next 20 seconds, 30 seconds, hell, the way this Claudette was running me, maybe I would have spent the rest of the game chasing her. And why throw an entire game just because a player has temporarily outplayed you? You know what I mean? Why throw the game just to get one person down and maybe get one hook on them, when more than likely with 5 gens still being up, no one's been hooked yet, we're very early in the game, more than likely someone would have saved her off hook anyway. So not overcommitting to chases is one of the most important things, and that's where a lot of survivors, when they teabag you, they're trying to get to you, and if you let them, they've already won. Because they're taking you off of the more important part of the game, which is defending these generators. They are getting into your head. They are manipulating you. Don't let it work. Don't give them what they want. Break off and go do something else, and hopefully come back and get them later. He's past Fidget. Past Fidget. He's having a hard time. He's not charging his blinks fully. He does a good one here. There was absolutely no reason for this second blink. I think past Fidget was maybe trying to go through this wall to see if anyone was on the other side, but he doesn't hold it long enough, so he ends up going like nowhere. And now because he used that second blink, he now has to wait even longer for his blinks to come back. So if you're using blinks for distance, sometimes it's better just to use the big long blink, recover, and then go back to the long blink again. I don't know if the audio is picking it up in the video. Oh my god. Look at that. Oh my god. It's serious focus time.
You look like you're ready to kill someone.
Well, I'm trying.
Trying be the key word.
Shut up, Sergeant. I don't know if the audio picked it up, but I could hear someone working the toolbox up here at the very top of the staircase. So I was, Past Fidget was trying to blink up towards it. I can't believe this didn't work. Because look at his body. He even did the sitting up straight and like lifting his head up. The fact that this blink doesn't work, I can't believe it.
Well, that didn't take me where I wanted to go.
No, it did not, Pass Fidget. It really did not. You went the wrong way, man. Sag. Not the first, one of many mistakes made in this unfortunate nurse game.
Grimrock, good to see you.
Not a bad play there. He knew, I think it was Nia. Yeah, Nia had gone around. Can I go back a little bit here? Where am I? Yeah, so Nia had broken off the gen and gone around Pride Rock. So to get kind of a better line of sight and figure out where she is, he used his second blink to quickly get on top where you can see more of it. Probably one of the smarter things that Pass Fidget did.
Grimrock, good to see you.
Our first hit. Good job, Pass Fidget.
Yeah, what a legend.
Oh, I didn't have a second blink prepped. I thought I did.
Adrenaline getting the better of Pass Fidget there. Not adrenaline the perk, like adrenaline in the chase, where he didn't wait for the second blink to come back. So he wasn't able to capitalize on that short distance in the end, and Neo was able to get away.
What?
Losing track of her a bit here. Following the blood. Sees where she is. But right there, again, it's going to keep coming back to the blinks in this. And again, when I say about like I think the adrenaline or maybe the panic's a better word to use. So I'm not confusing you guys with the survivor perk adrenaline. He was panicking and was trying to catch up to the Nia. And in doing so, let me just show you here. Like that's your long blink right there. And he maybe held it for 1 second at max, which is why he barely moves. Tries to quickly fix it by quickly blinking again. But if he had just held that first blink, he could have closed all, if not most, of this gap right away and use that second blink to potentially downer here. But just not focused, not using the long blinks effectively, panicking, and Nia is going to get away.
Such a rough nurse game.
Fidget, relax. It's okay. It's okay. That's actually... I'm actually going to stop for a second. When Pass Fidget says, why am I having a rough nurse game? In a way, even though he's frustrated in the moment, I feel it's good to acknowledge that. Because we're all going to have rough games. Believe it or not, I actually had this nurse game after I recorded the best build nurse video on this YouTube. In that video, I mentioned I was trying to wean myself off Shadowborn, so judging like the distance in my muscle memory with the blinks was a little off. This instance, however, is just not using the blinks effectively. I'm not charging them long enough. I'm not he's blinking to where he last saw them opposed to where he thinks they're actually going. And this is why he's going, why am I having a rough nurse game? Because the blinks aren't being used effectively or efficiently.
Like, this is awful. It's like one of the worst nurse games I've ever had.
I mean, you're not wrong. Pass Fidget, you're not wrong.
Yep.
Second gen done there. Still no hooks. We get a hit on, was that a Lodi? Yep, that was a hit on a Lodi. Claudette back in the action, dropping the pal and getting the flashlight stuns.
Fucking hell, what?
I'm going to assume that was panic again there. Watch what happens. So the reason he's going over here, we can see the scratch marks. Some on the ground and some on the wall here. So Pass Fidget, assuming correctly that Claudette is running along this wall to the jungle gym on the other side. Waits a second for it. He saw her really close. So he, again, that kind of panic reaction. He knows he's not playing well. It's starting to get into his head. He should have done another short blink right to about here. And I believe he would have gotten the hit. But he has that panic reaction where he sees her and just goes to swing. And, well.
Fucking hell, what's wrong with me?
Smack! Yay! Sometimes just not blinking at all is the answer, friends. So we're heading to the area that I said we were avoiding earlier, when we originally broke off the chase. So we're kind of getting our part 2 of that earlier chase right now.
Thank you, Auto Aim.
You know what? I would say this even if it was a match where I was dominating and all 4 survivors were down 2 minutes into the match and 5 gens were remaining. I absolutely hate the auto aim in this game. Like, I absolutely hate it. If there was any change with all the way people talk about, you know, perks, maps, all this other stuff that people talk about in this game, if I could remove one thing, it would be auto aim. This is an exaggerated example, obviously, compared to what we just saw, but there are times where it feels like there will be a survivor in front of me. I'll push M1 to swing, and somehow my character does a 180 and hits the barrel behind me because of auto aim. Oh God, auto aim is the worst. Past Fidget, I'm sure you're in your head right now. You're thinking maybe you're just coming up with excuses because you're playing bad or whatever. But my friend, this is the one. I'm with you. I hate it. It's awful. And auto aim, go away. Go away.
Excuses.
Thank you.
Huzzah!
Finally.
The day is won. The Claudette is down. Our first down. Oh God. We'll take off 2 seconds. We'll say the first down at 3 minutes and 24 seconds with 3 gens. So 2 have been repaired, and 3 minutes and 24 seconds have passed before our first down. That's bad with any killer, but on the nurse, can I get some oofs in the comment section? If you're still watching this, let me know that you've made it this far. Oof, friends. Oof. Scare alert. You're welcome. I'm so happy for Past Fidget that flashlight blind didn't work, because if Past Fidget had finally gotten not only his first down, but that Claudette down at 3 minutes 24 seconds, only to get flashlight blinded and lose her, I don't even want to think about what would have happened. The poor soul. Like, look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. It's just defeat. There's just sadness behind those eyes. Go get your hook, man. You need it. Go get your hook, dude. There you go. That feels better, doesn't it?
What the fuck was that? Oh.
That's a Lodi. There you go. A little bit more prediction on the blink there, so he actually gets rewarded with a hit for it.
Didn't have my second blink back.
And same mistake there. Didn't wait long enough for his second blink, so he wasn't able to capitalize. That chase could have been over, but he didn't wait. It's so important. Yes, I know you want to keep going. You want to get those quick downs, but with the nurse, friends, I'm telling you, speaking from my own mistakes here, wait for it to come back. Wait for it, because it'll help you so much if you have 2 blinks opposed to 1.
Bug, thank you for these 666 bits. Caught me off super guard. What?
I have watched this part a couple times now.
Thank you for these 666 bits. Caught me off super guard.
First, it was too long of a blink there for sure. But this right here, watch this swing. I can't believe that missed. I'm shocked. I'll watch it one more time here. Watch in the circle. Like that is like sliver. A sliver of a miss.
I still didn't have my second blink charged.
See, he just keeps making the same mistake. He's getting worked up. And now we're going to see a domino effect.
Like I'm all over the place.
See? Panic blinks again, not getting the full range, not predicting where she is. It's the same mistake over and over and over and over again. Finally, he gets another down here. For our second hook at 5 minutes into the match. Good God. Hello, Claudette. We meet again. 1 gen left, by the way, and 2 hooks. Just kidding. All gens are done. 5 minutes, 23 seconds, 2 hooks, 2 downs, 5 gens completed. So, on top of, you know, just awful blinks, not predicting where they're going to be, panicking and using short blinks instead of long blinks, not letting enough time pass to get both blinks fully charged back. You can see in retrospect why SgtFidget is where he's at right now in this trial.
We literally got 2 hooks this entire game.
Sorry as well about some of the distortion happening on the computer. I think when I'm recording this, I think I have OBS set too high. So when I do episode 3, I'll make sure to turn it down a little bit.
Like brutal.
I don't know if here, I've watched this a couple times as well, trying to figure it out. Hold on here. So I can't figure out. I think it's between 1 or 2 things. My blink, even though it's charged, doesn't go as fast or as far as I think it should. I think one of 2 things happened. One, it kind of got blocked by one of these objects here, or the more likely scenario, he may have aimed a little too far down. So sometimes when you aim down with a blink, you can, especially if like a survivor's coming at you, you can aim down so you don't travel as far, even though the blink is fully charged. I think that's what happened, and is why, even though this is a fully charged blink, he barely moves. Because you can even see there on the second short blink, he goes farther and faster than he does with the first one.
Bad mistake after bad mistake.
SgtFidget, it's okay, man. It's okay. It's okay, dude. Again, I'm sounding like a broken record, but it's just, you're seeing now what I'm talking about. It's the same mistake over and over again with these blinks. Just a really off game. And I when I watched this back once, I could already tell what the problem was. I didn't really need to pick this apart for myself to figure out where I went wrong. Having enough experience with the nurse, I could just tell he just wasn't predicting with his blinks, wasn't using them effectively, wasn't fully charging them. The nurse blinks, if you can't get them down, you're in trouble. So if you're a learning nurse, if you're watching this and you're not very confident with your nurse, look at something like this and just realize that even someone who on a normal day is comfortable with nurse, bad games can happen. They can happen to all of us, friends. And like, don't beat yourself up if you're trying to learn nurse and you're having games like this, or you're just not getting your blinks, you're getting 4 escapes, gens flying. Nurse can really take time and patience. So past Fidget's getting kind of upset at himself here because he knows better. But do as I say, not as I do. Don't beat yourself up. And if you do find yourself getting worked up or frustrated or whatever, maybe after the match, get up, shake it off. Go for a jog around your computer room, around the house, whatever. Shake it off, come back. It's a new game. Here is where Fidget knew. Like he's known for a while, but here I think he kind of fully accepts that the game is over. So he starts to get a little bit sillier here. And this is another thing I would like kind of with what I was just saying. Friends, if you know you've lost, have a little fun. Don't get worked up. Accept it and just have a little fun. I actually don't know. I remember wondering this at the time. I don't know if I had just blinked right at the Kate there, if I would have just gone right through the steps to the ground. I assumed I would have, but I actually don't know if it would have kept me on the spot or if it would have sent me elsewhere. I think I assumed it was going to do that, which is why I did this. Why I went right instead of left, since I knew the door was on the left, I don't know. Maybe because earlier on, where was it? That's too far back. Was it here?
This has just been...
Yeah. So at this point, I saw them recovering over there. So maybe some part of my brain thought they were still over there, even though enough time has passed that why would they just be sitting over there? Obviously, they're going to go for a door. Anyway, something I don't really have an answer to. Just something I did in this wonderful saga of the nurse blinking.
Like, what a fucking embarrassing match.
See? Again, Fidget knows. Embarrassing match. Oof. We all have them, friends. And before we go around these logs here, this is, again, why I'm saying if you know you've lost, you've accepted it, have a little extra fun. We all win some. We all lose some. It's going to happen. You can, if survivors decide to kind of mess with you a little bit, especially if you're worked up, you can really let it get to you and let it get into your head. But friends, have a little extra fun. See, you could interpret this as, wow, that's so toxic. They're clicking their flashlight at me. Oh my God, they know I've lost, and why don't they just leave? I'm so mad. Oh, now she's nodding at me. Oh, wait a minute. What if I just nod back and play along? Suddenly, it's not really toxic anymore. We're all just kind of goofing around. And everything's fine. You don't see me getting mad, smashing my keyboard, throwing a hissy fit. Toxic survivors just leave. Oh my God, rawr. We decided to mess with Claude out of bed here and try and get a little sneaky little hit in. But see? Like, everything is fine. And even one more little thing here. Again, they're not teabagging. They're not being toxic. We're all just goofing around here at this point. Nurse tries to leave with them. She wants to go. Oh, I'm going to go with you guys. And look at this. This is just... what's about to happen is just one more drop of salt in the wound.
What up, Q?
The game won't even give me one final hit at the end. Once again, auto aim focuses on the exit opposed to the survivor. Get auto aim out of the game.
You feeling better?
Yeah, I am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh my God, really? Cucked by auto aim at the end? Really? You can't even give me that auto aim?
Pass Fidget. It's okay. It's okay. The game is over, man. The game is over. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this second episode of Entity Displeased, and I hope it shows you that it's okay to lose a game, and it's even more okay to go back, look through it, and see how maybe you could have played better, and maybe that would have given you the win, or even 1 or 2 extra kills. Fidget was not using his blinks correctly. He was not using the distance correctly. He was not letting the blinks fully recharge, and he was not predicting where the survivors were going to go. Instead, he was going where he last saw them. So it was extending a lot of his chases, causing the survivors to get away. And also, if you notice throughout the trial, he was never really checking in on gens as well. Some of you might be saying, you didn't have any gen defense perk. The idea, let me go back here so you can see the perk wheel. The idea when I do Devour Hope and Undying is that I'm hoping, especially with Nurse, I'm hoping that I can get enough hooks to at least get 3 tokens of Devour Hope. And that way all the survivors are exposed and one hits down. So in that way, you're starting to snowball and getting more survivors on hooks quickly. So they're keeping them off the gens so you don't have to worry about something like Pop Goes the Weasel or Ruin. And some of you might be saying, well, why didn't you run Ruin with this since you have Undying? Whenever I'm doing Devour Hope, I don't like to run Ruin because I don't want to bait the survivors towards looking for the lit totems. I don't want them to even be thinking about it until boom, they're hit with that exposed status and the panic starts. But at that point, hopefully I have an idea of where the survivors are. I've warmed up into the match and I can start getting those 1-hit downs with Devour Hope leading up to that 5th stack, and we're just mooring them on the spot, leaving perks like Ruin and Pop not even necessary, because at that point you're not even focused on the gens anymore. I hope you enjoyed this, guys. I hope it was helpful. If you enjoyed it and you want to see more of these, let me know in the comment section down below. In the meantime, I would love and appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button if you found this informative at all, or you just enjoyed someone analyzing and picking apart their own game, and hit the notification bell so you can make sure to know when the next Dead by Daylight video is live here on YouTube. Also, this game was recorded on Twitch, where I stream 5 days a week, Wednesday through Sunday. Links are all in the description down below. I hope you enjoyed it. The entity was, unfortunately, once again, displeased. And we'll see you next time.